Hey, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Kiki's Doorway. All the Kiki's Doorway subscribers and viewers. Thank you for being patient with me for the last couple of days. Well, talking about the game. Uh, for one, a lot of changes has been going down for everybody. So I thought, why not change it up? And for a Taurus like myself, born May 1st, uh, which is the fifth, change the number five, change besides being in the house of Leo. For me, change has always been a challenge for me. And it stemmed from wondering about energy. Like, are men and women really different? Or are we the same? We just have different makeup on. Obviously different vessels, different body. Yet, as a young person, um, like any young person watching and growing up, you wonder, like, well, boys are, yes, they're masculine, they're go-getters. Females are very nurturing and caring, yet they have a go-getting attitude themselves. So the game mainly was to see if men and women are different, or are we simply the same? Well, we're different in physical makeup, but the same in energy. So the topic of the day of the game was energy. So I had a dear friend of mine watch one of the games, and he liked it, but his thing was, why not? What was the main reason of the game? Like, what was the main just of the game? And at first, I was like, I just want to do something different because, again, doing something different, I'm used to doing things in routine. So, if you were wondering why I was switching up on readings and doing different styles, different topics, especially meditation and singing and namesake, is because that is my creative side of who I am. When pulling out the cards, it was talking about, for the masculine energy, showing who you are, going after the things that you truly love and not just of material gain. Yes, the masculine energy was thinking about how to build a finance, but they wanted to do it in a different way. The energy was showing it through the cards. Same thing for the feminine energies. The feminine energy was thinking about finance, yet in a way where, how does it reflect who they are inwardly? So as you go back and see the masculine reading game and the feminine reading game, you'll start to see a key element. Both genders exude similar energies when it came to certain emotions. So when you're when we're thinking about energy, do we really think about how energy is emotion? Just to speak right now would take me to shape my mouth, have my lungs, heart rate beating for me to even project myself. So imagine you all, when we were playing the game or looking at the tarot cards, right? How did it make you feel when you had to play those roles out of yourself? I know for me, when I had to play out the masculine side of myself, which is not hard for me, and this is another reason why I wanted to do this as a live, um, mainly for you to either respond or say what's on your mind or the energy that you're feeling. But playing out the game with you guys, like I would say, since the beginning, since May of 2018, I want to know who I am, yet I want to know who other people are in their energy. For me to understand how to communicate better, how to love better as an individual to another, and how to even love myself. You can't, for me, I can't know who I am not unless I'm also interacting with another. That's how we get friends. That's how we have family. That's how we do get jobs and loved ones that, in a way, match our energy without us even realizing it, or our emotions behind that energy. So, when I had to play out the masculine reading game, whereas thinking about finances, yes, I had to think about the 7 ways in which I wanted to look at finance and how I see myself. So I had made a list, right? Which both energies had to do. And at first I put caring, stable, spiritual, build, build finance, building business, be in tune with body, show creativity. Then the second time I thought about it, and I'm like, is that the order I really want to see in a person or really in myself? I'm like, okay, let me see again. So I put caring, stable, spiritual, creative, partner, build business, see each other as equals. As equals. So then the game came to mind. So I said, okay, now I had to be real. If I'm going to play this game out or this energy really reveal who I am through my energy or my emotions, I have to be honest. So the third time when I wrote it, I put see each other, meaning me and the person I care about, as equals. Meaning I want my partner to see me as them. Yes, I'm a female, but when they look at me, it's like looking at themselves. When I look at them, it's like literally me looking at myself. That's the energy and that's the emotions I want to receive from a partner. Caring for my daughter and myself. I'm a single parent. Before becoming a single parent, having someone just to care for me, I didn't know what that meant. Again, showing that masculine side, which is about action, was not hard for me, which goes into something personal about me. Since 13 years old, I had found out from my doctor that I have poly ovary syndrome. Uh, my friends, I had to recently tell a few of my friends that. Um, at first, I didn't even think of revealing that. I'm like, okay, they should just know me. Like, yes, I'm female, I'm feminine, I like to dress, but I love casual clothes. I like dressing in jeans and shirts and shoes because I like to be on the go. I like to, get things done. But I do have a caring side. I'm very intuitive. I listen, so I do have that feminine energy in me. But polyovary syndrome means you have more male hormones inside of you than female hormones. So it's not to say that I don't have any estrogen in me. Like I said, I do care. I do show my nurturing side. However, physically and hormonally, I show more of masculine traits. Very aggressive. I can become very aggressive in what I want. I can be honest, very logical in how I talk, which sounds at times like as if I don't have emotions, which used to confuse me when I was younger. Before I turned 13, I was like, okay, what is this about? Even when I found out about my hormonal balance, I'm like, okay, that shouldn't change anything. I just know that I'm aggressive. That explains it. That's how I seen it. But when it came to having relationships with the opposite sex, it was very difficult for me because, again, physically I'm a female. So a female is very attractive, very alluring. But I had masculine tendencies. So I sweat more at times, and then I would play football and basketball. Yes, I did cheerleading, but I like to be in the game. I like to be in it. I don't want to be watching. What's that about? But that again, that was at that time I didn't know that was my masculine side more than my feminine. When I had with male relationships is when I showed my feminine side, which confused men because they're used to seeing me as a tomboy. So when they see me date them, they're like, wait, you actually love dresses? You like to wear heels? I know you have boobs, but I get to see them more. You dress more. Whoa, okay, that's not something I was prepared for. So again, not knowing that the energy that I was giving off at the beginning was my masculine side. Um, Yet when I was involved with people, not even just in the opposite sex, when I had female friends or people that I felt I could be creative to, that's when they seen my feminine side. So again, I will always have this issue emotionally about that conflict. Like, why is it can I not show both of myself at once? Both my masculine energy and my feminine energy at once. And when doing that, the only time I would actually do that is when I would hear a person I care about say, "Oh, you kind of sound more masculine," or "You kind of sound like a dude," or "You're acting like a guy," or "Why are you acting so girly," or "Why do you cry too much," or "Why can't you be this," or "Why can't you be that?" And I'm like, well, I can be, but when I did try to physically do that, without realizing that energy is connected to emotions, my physical body will show that I was at conflict. Meaning, as a human being, when you're angry, you can either do several things, but the two things that come to mind is you could either vocalize how you feel, or you can say, or vocalize what makes you angry, or you can physically show that you're angry. And when we were younger, how we used to physically show we was angry is by hitting something or hitting that person that made us feel angry. But when we get older, we realize that again, with that energy, we have to what? Figure out how to not hit a person. Thank you. How to not hit a person for being angry at them. So what again, the two ways that we could show that anger, right, is through again communicating. But if we don't know certain words of what we're feeling, that can become a problem. And then that energy can become where can't hit you because now I'm older. I'm starting to mature and see that hitting is not going to solve anything. It's going to show me physically that I didn't like what I seen in the situation, but it's not going to really correct it. So what do you do as a human being? What do? We hold in our emotions. And again, realizing, hi, Miss Curry, how you doing? Love you too. Yes, I had to come out with the honesty. Playing the game with you guys has shown me that I had to be real with who I am, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And I shouldn't have to wait on intimate relationships or friends or jobs to show me who I am. So playing the game with you guys had made me see that yes, we have masculine and feminine energies in us. But for those that don't know and then had to deal with physical issues where, puberty, we all gone through puberty. But if you haven't been taught that puberty is actually a beautiful sacred thing, and it's at that passage, that time where you can be a young adult and confront yourself in how you feel and the energy you have behind each emotion. In this world, we're taught to suppress that. And just like the heart, when you close your mouth, right? Or when somebody tells you be quiet and shut up, your mouth is closed. What happens when your mouth is closed? Well, for one, does the odor in our mouth change? Yes. It has to age. So now you have an odor in your mouth because you closed your mouth. The second thing that happens when you close your mouth and you're holding in your emotion, now, little did I know, it is connected to our heart. Now we're actually squeezing our hearts to hold in that energy along with the emotion that we feel. So imagine having a hormonal balance like myself and then going through puberty, which had to have me admit to myself at a young age that I had more masculine or male hormones than estrogen, female. I had to confront myself earlier in the game than some of my friends did. And then when I would ask them the question like, do you feel this way? Really? And they would not tell me, but their actions showed me. I would get very upset. And I didn't know why. So now at 34, playing this game with you guys, again, tarot card reading, I didn't think I would go into because that would physically show who I am spiritually. And in history and reading books and going, everyone, we went to school, we read history. When it comes to esoteric, when it comes to mystic, when it comes to showing your spiritual ability, which is tied it again to your emotion, that has led people to either be exiled from their community or chased out of their community, looked at as a witch or a warlock, seen as evil and bad, when those were the same people that didn't want to harm. They had no reason to harm. They wanted to help. Why have a gift? It's like if you know how to read and I don't, but I want to learn, when you want to teach me how to read? Again, in history, it showed that sometimes knowledge is seen as a negative. This is why even now to this day, when we look at the Bible, when we look at spirituality and religion, we have a gray area to it. It's like as if we have to pick a side. Why pick a side when we know as human beings we're complex creatures? How are we complex? What makes us a human being, for one? Think about if you had to make a clay figure. What would it take for you to make a clay figure? Clay. How do we get clay? Sand, mud, with water to make it muddy so we could shape it better. We need something light. We need a light to make it hard. But first, it comes with that thought of, I want to create something other than myself. So we had to use other elements and seeing that within ourselves. So when we seen pictures on the wall and we learned how to make alphabets and how to express our emotions, we didn't have words, did we? We had pictures. And sometimes, like when we look at galleries and art museums, pictures can say 1,000 words, right? Even as a human being, we can say 1,000 things at once. But that one key element is us. And if we're learning who we are as that one, then we can understand our emotions a little bit better when it comes to another. Because we can see ourselves in another. We don't have to have children to know when someone is worried about us, because for one, that energy, and that energy has a vibration, a heat to it. Have you noticed how when you love someone, before you tell them, you get sweaty hands and your heart is racing and you're trying to figure out what words will express your energy and your emotions for this person. And when you finally find the words, then you wonder, how would this person take my energy and my emotions through these words? So again, this is why playing the masculine game and the feminine game separately, I wanted to see, at first we didn't play that game separately, we had it together. And the reason why I seen it as together is because what I've seen through other readings, like addressing first of masculine and feminine energy. To even say it out loud would sound taboo, would sound weird. Like, what do you mean masculine and feminine energies? Meaning, we could say it two ways. We could be talking about the masculine, which is man, and the feminine, which is female. And then having them at the same location or in the same mind's energy when doing the reading. Or it could be seen as the masculine, which is your aggressive side, your go-getter side, and your feminine, which is caring, your nurturing side, and yourself as that person, as you. When we say, how can you love someone when we don't love ourselves? It sounded like a cliche to me. And until I did the tarot card readings, and especially recently doing the game with you guys, I had to physically go out there and do what I love, which I haven't done in 15 years. And the reason why I haven't done it in 15 years is because, for one, the one that I truly had as my rock was my mother, or that person who I seen as my rock was and still is my mother. Even though she's not physically with me, she is in the ethers now. Just like people we love that is in our lives or in passing. Little do we know that their energy and their emotions for us gave us that extra will to go out and truly find who we are and be ourselves. So to not have that anchor with me, I had to become that anchor. And just like any human being in a person's life, at one point we have to be our anchor for ourselves. We could try having our loved one, the person that we want to share our lives with, be our anchor, but we realize that cannot work because we didn't tell them that we wanted them to be our anchor. And if we did tell them directly, we didn't really emotionally express what those things or requirements would take for us as an individual to see that person as our anchor. So when doing the reading game, I was asking the feminine energies, or the cards were asking or revealing to us what we were emotionally feeling on the inside was, in order for us to find who we truly love, we got to love ourselves. And what would it take for us to love ourselves? So when writing those 7 things down, I had to come to grips with, in order for me to write these 7 things down, I had to physically go out and do them. If I'm going to truly love myself or marry myself, I was saying, before I find that one, who would I be? What kind of husband would I be? So again, I had looked at the masculine and feminine energies, and I started to go out and perform in the public. I went to Central Park, 110th, and performed. I just put a random place, mind you, and that's something I don't do. That was my masculine side coming out like, yeah, I'm about to get this. I'm about to have people see me. But yet that feminine energy was like, yeah, but I wanna show why I'm doing it, and let's not go out there just singing like as if I don't got no purpose. So I had to reveal the spirit of myself, which is, I love to see people with high spirit. I love to see them uplifted, not in a fake way, not in a like, oh, you're just down, so I want to wake you up. No, I see people as a star. Naturally, I see people as a star. I see people as magical beings that can manifest anything that they put their minds, their emotions, and energy to. We can make our own Eden. I felt this way since a young age, and I still feel this way now. But to physically do it, that was different. So to feel that masculine energy propel me to show that side, to have the feminine energies give me that pampering energy to say it's okay to be scared, and to have my spiritual side to say, if from you showing yourself, you do not know what you are doing for others right now. Just do it like Nike. Like I tell you guys all the time in the readings, just do it. But to physically do it though was different for me. And I picked a spot where it was people that were sitting. They looked tired. Well, it was in the morning, but they looked like how I felt on the inside, which is, I feel like a star, but I don't feel like I'm doing what I want to do or what I love to do. So I told them like, oh, I would like to sing 2 songs that I feel that y'all make me feel in energy wise. This is how you make me feel. So I sung Rihanna, Diamond, and then I sung Jill Scott, Golden. And when I did that, young people and adults all of a sudden were happy. Like they were stopping and staring at me. They laughed at me, of course, because I'm like randomly singing and dancing. I love to dance. I love to sing. I love to act. I love to express myself. And the reason why I stopped for 15 years is because I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened to what people thought of me. And I listened And what I inwardly thought of myself, I thought, well, who am I to show my creative side? Everybody's creative. What would make my creative side so different? Then having people close my mouth or tell me to be quiet, or and not in a rude way, but in an anxious way where it made them feel like they should, but they were afraid, so they wanted me to stop. I guess I was giving an energy that made them feel, but they didn't want to feel. So now, again, playing the game with you guys is like, okay, I don't care. I'm going to show me, and I'm going to show why I got to be me. Because by me being me, when people were coming up to me, and I didn't think they were, I just thought they were going to just stare at me. They asked me why did I do it, and I said, well, I do readings, and the game that I play actually requires me to show who I am creatively and to show my spiritual ability. And I love to sing, I love to dance, and I love to make people see the star in them. And they were like, wow. I didn't want to admit it, but I felt really good about myself. I feel really energized to go throughout my day when I didn't think I could. Keep doing what you're doing, sis. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, and to hear that was like, wow. So again, I had to battle with my masculine side, not battle, but come to the surface who I am masculine and who I am feminine and who I am spiritually. And the more they asked me about my spiritual readings, I was uncomfortable because, again, my energy towards this is feeling still taboo, but not in a way where it's wrong, but in a way where the way I feel about spiritual readings and about tarot cards and about being creative, the arts in itself, is something I cannot yield to anymore. Like, I tried to yield for like years. I tried to hide this from my boyfriends and it didn't work. They would call me mystical, magical. I tried to hide it from my friends. They would call me, like, come on, witch, you know what time it is. And I was like, what? And because, hearing that when I was younger and getting hit for that, not from my family, but from the outside world, or even having my family or my brothers feel, a certain way, made me want to hide that. So now when my brothers see it, they like, I already knew that was in you. I just didn't have a name for it. Now that we have books for what you are, now I could get why you used to sing and dance. Now I could get why you were into looking at the stars. Now I could get why you were very open to people and honest with them and seeing the good in them and not the negative. And even when you see the negative, you see it as an open opportunity. When my brothers and family, at times did. My mom was the only one that understood that. So, and my grandfather, the people that passed on actually in my family tree are the ones that truly understood me. And that, I think that was the part that I had to heal from. So when doing the readings with you guys, brought up some issues that I didn't think I knew I had, but I thought I buried them or thought I solved them. No, I did the masculine, which was tuck it real deep, put some dirt on it, and did the feminine, which is, don't show you cry a lot, tuck it in. But I didn't know that I was getting cysts from that. I was getting depressed from that. I was getting really tired. I was getting cycles that last longer than 7 days. Even now, my body is changing where when I don't address who I am, masculine or feminine within me, my body starts to show me the imbalance. Like, I can't hide it anymore. I physically have to, like, address it. So when I was saying that Kiki's Doorway channel is going to have some changes, like, now I would actually have to tell you guys to press the subscribe button and definitely press the notification bell, because at times I'm saying, oh, I'm gonna be up on this time to do reading and this time to do this game, and I in my energy and emotions at the moment be like, nah, you can't do it. Even if you do it, you got to show this now. And I wasn't ready to show it, or I just be so tired that my body's like, you did too much throughout the week. Like, when I say I had literally did what the energy was in them cards said was to do, like to be that husband for myself, to show that masculine energy in myself that it's okay to go out there in that feminine energy and spirit, that it's okay to show who you are 100%. I'm telling you, to be a masculine feminine energy, I respect you guys. Like, yes, we're human beings, but to really, that's why I wanted to play the game, for us to physically see that as a man and woman, we actually do show our feminine and masculine side all the time. But to not, to say it, you wouldn't think it, but to actually see it, you're like, wow, I actually do that. We actually do that as human beings. So let's see what the masculine in us and the feminine in us want us to know, based on what we've gone through. I mean, I've been crying. My body's been changing on me. I'm like, yo, man, what is good? And then your body, like, and your conscious, which is your body is connected to our emotions, right? It's connected to our energy. When you get that gut, that emotions, when it says to slow down, and we don't slow down, you notice how we get sick? It's because of that. Because inwardly we knew to slow down, but because our outside world and because what we think we're supposed to do makes us feel a certain way, we do it. And then we realize later on that, wow, we should have took that time. So now we're starting to be in tune with ourselves, and we're starting to be in tune with who we are. So let's see what our masculine and feminine energies want us to know from what we have gone through since last week. Mother, well, I started with mother. Mother, father, God, Gaia, God, Goddess. Whew, okay. What does our masculine side want us to know right now? Okay. This is already popping off. All right, guys. The masculine energy want us to know the energy that we feel right now is, again, going through that battlefield. But we have the masculine, feminine, and the child, our innocence, who we are as an individual. This is what we are thinking about when it comes to communicating. We're in the third house of Gemini, and Gemini is all about communication. So our masculine energy wants us to know that we're now going to start embarking on how to communicate what we see in ourselves, what we want in ourselves to come out, and how we want our soul to take that journey with us on there. If it's not that in our thoughts, we're also thinking about in threes, what are the ways that we can show who we are through our masculine side? Meaning the masculine energy is all about showing that go-getting attitude, showing that logic in ourselves, showing that we do have an end game. When it comes to that feminine aspect of ourselves, showing ourselves how can we care more for ourselves. Is it going out more? Is it taking walks? Is it meditating more? Is it writing in our journal? Is it being more creative? Is it even communicating more in how we feel? When it comes to our spiritual side, that innocence, the innocence in us has not died. It just matured with us. The reason why I feel in my heart and my mind's eye to say that is because just like our heart, our body changes along with our minds. And if all these things, our mind, body, and soul, our mind and body changes with us, then our soul has to change with us. Or else the feelings that we feel, we felt before, but now because we have grown, we have more words, we have more thesaurus, more vocabulary to express those things in a spiritual way, openly. So when it comes to our great sadness, we are taking the time to heal that. No more are we putting it under the rug or sweeping it somewhere where we can't see it. Even if we tried to sweep it before, we realized that all it did was add more dirt. We eventually seen the dirt. This is why playing the game with you guys, seeing that masculine side of myself is like, well, what would I want to show my masculine side? Well, I want to have a new environment, and not just on my outside world. I want my new environment in my apartment. Before, I had things on my table, which is not a bad thing, but I was like, okay, I want a cleaner environment. I want who I am on the inside to reflect who I am on the outside. So as I was cleaning and clearing, I started to have great sadness because I'm like, wow, I swept these things under the rug to the point where I didn't realize how emotionally and energetically it can affect how I go out. And the more I started cleaning, the more I felt happy and the more I had energy to perform outside and to show who I am creatively. That's what we're about to do. We're releasing what causes great sadness and we're taking that time to heal. So the need to forgive yourself and others, and that's what we're feeling. When we were going out in the world to show who we are, both in our masculine and feminine side, we were realizing that it was bringing up things that we thought we were solving. But again, it gave us an opportunity to say, oh, okay, this needs to be healed. And what time do I need to heal it? I don't want to take off this band-aid real quick because I know it's going to hurt. And it could possibly take off the new skin that is going to make a new. I got to peel it off slow. Just like the snake, when they peel off their old skin to have new, they got to feel the pain. So we have been feeling the pain. And we have taken the time to forgive ourselves first before we have forgiven others. Wow, the masculine energy want us to know that we have strength to go through what you have gone through, what we have gone through since last week. Took a lot of strength. Took a lot of courage. Yes, courage. It took a lot of courage. It took that Kalima. It took that Shakti. It took that Zeus in us. It took whatever mythology that you resonate with, whatever ego, super ego that you resonate with, to bring out. When we were talking about the namesake, your name tells a story. It tells who you are through strength. And we're bringing into the 11th house, it's Aquarius, the house of Aquarius, both our masculine and our feminine energy. We are seeing them now as equal, and that's one thing we had to learn how to forgive, how to see both man and woman as equal, how to forgive that. Because when we don't, it's like we're not forgiving ourselves. It's like saying the masculine in us, I don't forgive. If I can't forgive the masculine outside of myself, which I had to do, still learning to do, and it's a work in progress. But like anything in life, practice makes perfect, and we're starting to see that as strength in itself. And we're seeing ourselves as equal, and we're seeing the opposite sex, the same sex, as equal. And that's a huge energy to be seen, to feel. I've never seen it in books. I've seen it in cinema. We've seen it in movies, but to actually see it in real life, to experience that, is a wonderful thing. We're having great inner strength. We're releasing harsh judgments of ourselves. That harsh judgment of not thinking that we can change or not thinking that we can have. Now we're seeing that we can receive love that we always wanted. We can receive the abundance that we always wanted. We can receive that joy. We had to go within to get that strength. Strength is in the house of Leo, the 5th house of the lion. We all have heart. We had to see how our heart has that strength to release judgment of who we think or who we thought we are, and to have forgiveness and compassion, to see that every day every second, every minute, every hour is always going to be an open opportunity to make that canvas our own painting. Ah, wow. The masculine energy wants us to know that we have the eight of air. So we're in the house of Scorpio. And the illusion of being trapped, we're seeing we have no more. Because again, in the game, the feminine masculine energy game, it showed that we don't have no shackles. No shackles. In fact, we have others that see our progress and see how we're making the changes for ourselves, how they want to follow in the path that we're doing, in the self-discovery and that love that we're showing for ourselves. People are starting to ask, I'm quite sure people are starting to ask you guys, what did you do? Because outwardly, people are seeing the strength in you. They're seeing that we have the ability to communicate our emotions and communicate our passions in life. And that we are having eight people now that's going to start coming to us to ask, what are we doing? So the feminine energies want us to know. Let's see. What does the feminine energies want us to know? Because we had to do a lot of self-love and a lot of self-care, and to show our intuition and to not be afraid about it. Because if we didn't show our intuition as a human being, we wouldn't know how to wake up in the morning, even though we have an alarm clock. We wouldn't know exactly what to do before the person tells us, like, okay, I know this person based on how they are feeling, or their body language is showing me, oh, they might need this, and be able to jump right on it. And like, wait, how did you know? Knowing now that it's always been in a human being to show their intuition, the feminine energies want us to see in ourselves the four of water. So we went from the 3 to the 4. 3 of air to 4 of water. So we are showing our emotions. And we're now being in tune with it. Both the masculine is starting to be in tune with their emotions. They're starting to figure out, wow, okay, women are not the only ones that have emotions. In order for me to be a man and to go after the things I want, I would have to show emotions and have that foundation, that 4 pillars, that 4 foundations to go after it. So now both the masculine and the feminine energies, but now we're talking about the feminine. The feminine energies want us to know that we are starting to set up those foundations that we feel are emotionally stable, that's going to physically make us feel grounded, that is going to financially make us feel that we are on the right footing, and spiritually that we are in line with who we are and the way we want to go about it. Missing an opportunity. If we felt like we were missing an opportunity, which at times we did, we felt like that, like anything in life. Sometimes we feel like we miss an opportunity. But when we look back, when we take the time, which we're doing right now, to really sit with ourselves and say, was it a missed opportunity, or was it an opportunity that we had to miss at that time? You know how when you want something and you want it real bad, but inwardly your emotion says, no, wait, just wait, just wait. You might get a sale later, just wait. But we're so eager to get it that when we rush to get it, right, and we love it, when we leave the store, that's when we hear, oh, did you know you could get that for that amount over there? Are you serious? Oh, you just had to wait like 3-4 more days because every week they have a new sale, and that's when they was going to have the sale. Hi, Krishna. Yes, I had to tap into that masculine energy, that Krishna. Yeah, Kali Ma. She was getting at me. That fire energy. Woo! Boy. But it helped me to see that fire in me. Yes, Krishna. Yes, India. I had dreams of India. I'm not sure if it was, I'm not sure where it was located, Krishna. But I dreamed this 2 years ago. I think it was 3, where I was in a cave I was walked by three women from three nationalities in a cave. They were wearing blue, and it's funny. They were wearing this color blue, and they were guiding me to an underground tunnel. And underground was a group of people surrounding this woman, but it from a distance it looked like a man. But when I guess it sensed my energy, it turned and faced me, and I seen it was a female, had jet black hair, and she was dancing and singing for them to calm their tears. And I felt bad because I knew they were in a dungeon, but I didn't know why would they put these people in a dungeon with this lady. And she looked outside, and I felt a heat, but I didn't know where this heat was coming from. But I felt afraid. I felt afraid for them. And she turned back to me and said, Kali, it is not time. It is not time. And I didn't understand what she meant by that. And I felt so sad that I felt the heat come towards them, but I didn't know it was fire. And I came out from the tunnel like I guess I was. When you're dreaming, you're astral projecting. So when we dream, we go from different places. And I was led back by the three women, and I seen it burn. I seen it burn, and I seen this woman come out. But by the time I could understand her image, it looked like Shiva. Or I asked my Indian friend years later, because again, when revealing who I am spiritually, I was very afraid because as a young girl, when I would show when I would talk about my dreams or talk about what I would see in people through their energy, they would get afraid of me and say things that would make me not want to say. But because at that time, 3 years ago, I was starting to break out of that fear, like slowly. I told my last boyfriend at that time about the dream, and that's the one that was calling me mystical magical, and I didn't like it, but I didn't know why. And he's like, well, it sounds like a prophetic dream. And I was like, what does that mean? So I started to learn dream interpretations. So then I had gotten the will to ask my feminine friend that is from India, what does the word Kali mean? Kali ma mean? And she stopped. I was on the phone with her because I couldn't look in her face. I was like, I'm going to just ask her. And she said, that's mother. How did you know her name? And I told her about my dream. And her husband had to admit to me that I must be connected to that. And I had to admit to him my family bloodline and about my polyovarian syndrome of having more male hormones than feminine energy, feminine estrogen. Doesn't mean I don't have estrogen. I care. I'm very nurturing. But I seem to gravitate more to my masculine side. He said, you have to start meditating. And that's on the meditation on Kiki's Doorway. You would see the Kali Ma meditation song. That's what led me to want to do meditation songs for you guys, to come up with my own interpretation of meditation. Yes, thank you. Yes, Miss Curry. Thank you, Krishna. Yes, Kali Ma she is just like Gaia. And again, I've learned Gaia when I was 16. My mom when I was 9. Mind you, I told you guys earlier, 13 is when I found out I had polyovary syndrome. When I was 9 years old, I found out 9 that my mom had HIV. So health has always been an issue for me. Health and energy. Health, energy. Health, energy. Energy to me is connected to emotions. So health and people's energy has always been my concern since 9 years old. Because technically my mom was going to pass when I was 12. And I'm the oldest out of my 2 younger brothers. So I was very worried that if my mom passed, that I would definitely have to take care of my brothers while not being a mother, which was difficult. So she would take me to chemotherapy with her. I had to learn about cannabis because of her diet changed. her energy would change because she's a Leo. She passed when I was 19, February 2nd, 2003. We had to learn holistic healing because even though we went to the doctors, we had to learn what it would take. So learning health had me understand energy and how people's energy relates to their health and how we do get the abundance, right? So when I told my ex at the time about the dream, he says, you need to start being you. And the more he would tell me to be me, the more I was physically getting hurt. Meaning, because I was suppressing my creative side, because I wasn't showing my tarot reading, because I wasn't singing, because I wasn't writing, because I wasn't dancing, because I wasn't communicating who I am like I communicating with you guys, it physically showed. I started getting cysts under my arms. I started getting depressed. I started losing more weight. I started not wanting to eat. So now that I'm singing and dancing more, my appetite has changed, but I'm now understanding why it has. I've always had an issue with eating. I never liked eating. People call me a chipmunk because I used to stuff food in my cheeks for days. I didn't like it. I didn't see the reason. I actually felt like I was killing the thing I was eating anyway, which now I see why that happened. Let me read what's going on. I want to stop. I want to listen and read. Thank you so very much for sharing yourself to us. You have helped me so much on my journey since finding your channel. Much love and light to you. Wow. Thank you, Miss Curry. That really means a lot to me because I'm trying to hold back my tears, you know. This is the feminine side coming out with my masculine. I'm trying to hold it back, which is not going to be healthy, so I got to release it. She took exams just like an Anna. Again, I had to share who I am. My channel is called, like Miss Curry said, Kiki. Like you guys know me as Kiki. And my friends who know me physically know me as Kiki. But they also know me as my real name. My real name, this is why I also made the namesake, so you know who you are through your name as well. My real name, my first name is Kiana. And when my mom passed away, I felt alone, and I was trying to figure out how can I be my own anchor. And Gaia, in my mind's eye, came into mind, and she said to read Anna. And I didn't know what that meant. I just thought, what? And then I looked at the mythology of Venus, which is my zodiac sign, Taurus. So when I read Venus and Aphrodite, it led me to Inanna before I got to Isis. So I read the 7 gates, and that's when we were doing the readings before, I was mentioning the 7 gates. And it kept coming back like, oh, wow, I had to go back to the 7 gates. I have to re-examine myself again. And I'm so scared to do that until I did the game with you guys. Like, wow, I had to go back and make those 4 pillars solid. But this time, my way. My way, just like your way, guys, is how you feel in you. In you. Whatever you feel is solid. It is not false. Because when we dismiss our feelings, when we dismiss our creative side, when we dismiss who we really are. My name is Kiana. And when looking at my name on the namesake, you will see it has the name Inanna in it. And I didn't realize my name was having me in my physical world, again, go through those 7 gates. And to shed off those things of who I am. These are things that you are shedding off of who you are. So those discontentment and or boredom that we were feeling is letting us know, like, okay, in order for us to feel contentment, we have to look at the things in us that make us feel content. What makes us feel happy? What makes me feel happy is communicating with you guys. What makes me feel happy is telling you who I am little by little, like I would do to a friend. You are my family. You are my kin. And like any family and kin, you tell more and more about yourself. Just like you reveal more and more of who you are, guys, the journey you're taking helps me to be my best self. So now we're starting to open our eyes to possibilities. And what are the possibilities that our feminine energies want us to know? Wow. 6 of air from 11 to 6. So again, we're being very grounded. From the 11th, we're being very grounded. 6 of water. We're in the house now of Virgo. We went to that Cancerian side, the 4th house, to show what it would take for us to show that caring side. So we don't see things as missed opportunities, but see that it was not the right time to show that or to get that opportunity. How can we open our eyes to the possibilities? The feminine energies are saying that we're going to be balanced. We're going to see the memories, our life lessons, our life, your life, who you are, how you are living it. From the time you were a baby, the time you remember yourself as a child, to now is your history, is our history. Your history of your childhood. Again, we're understanding, releasing, forgiving who we were as children. We're showing when we had to go out in the world for the last week, we had to show who we are as a child too, which is connected to our spirit. And we've seen the issues regarding children has come from how we do want to be creative in our lives, how we do want to show our imaginations while being a young adult or while being an adult, and how we want to not let go of dream. This is coming to my mind's eye. I have to say it. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear the unbearable sorrow, to go where people may not go, to dream the impossible dream. That is the child in us that is coming out, and we're starting to heal that. And we're seeing that romanticizing the past, we don't have to do anymore. We're seeing that our past is a romance novel in itself. Us living out our childhood to now is a novel. If someone had to pick up, like if we literally wrote down, which we're about to do, it seems our emotions are telling us to do that, to write down, record, to start revealing to ourselves where we have came from and where we're about to go. We're seeing that we are our book. We are our history. If someone, this is why we have friends, this is why we have loved ones, this is why we have the career goal that we're reaching towards and going to obtain, because it's connected to us in our spiritual, in our emotional, in our physical body. Like, we know waking up, we love it. In the way we communicate to people, the way we communicate to ourselves, the way we even look at finance. We're seeing that when we love what we do, finance comes to us. Like when I show that I love to teach children, that I love to teach this teaching, that I love to interact with people, that I love to use performing arts as a way to teach, that's when people have came to me. And that's what's happening to us, to you guys. When you are showing who you are, your childlike creativity, people are going to be drawn to you and ask, how do you release that in a world, in a place where we feel that is not possible? And how you're showing, the feminine energies is showing us, thank you. We have the God, Goddess, we have the High Priestess in us coming out, and we have Source there to back us up. We're becoming renewed. We're renewing ourselves. We're learning, redoing, loving ourselves. And we're seeing that as a review, of time to review. Just like Krishna has said, And Miss Curry, time to re-examine, to take the exams of ourselves. Who better to know ourselves than us? If we had to know what is your favorite color, you should know it's, you know what color you like. How do we know? The world and our environment is going to show us why we love what we love, why we show our emotions in that way, why we communicate in this way, why we have the strength, why we have what kind of willpower we have. We're going to be exuding that. Yes, synchronicity. Yes. Yes, we're going through the same progress. Yes, talking directly to my heart on many levels. And when we do that, we're going to start to see how favorable assessment is. At times when we used to take a test in school, we like, wait a minute, if I got to retake this test, and that meant that I must have got something wrong. And then we wondering like, wait, if I got something wrong, there's something wrong with me. Nah, nothing's wrong with you. It's the teachers giving us the open opportunity to say, we know you know it, so much so that we're having you take the time to reevaluate what you know you know. So rather than, again, us beating ourselves up about it, we're like, okay, every moment, every minute, every second is an open opportunity. If I don't do it right now, if I don't do this moment, this side of myself, I have this to show that side. Or I can reveal this part of myself right now. If I'm unsure about that aspect, we are starting to see that it is nothing wrong to re-examine and to assess who we are and to have favorable assessments of the facts. We are our own receipts. Now we're going to be open about it and how we stay grounded using the Taurus house, our second house, and our high priestess side, and where it has stemmed from. And we're taking the time, again, we're taking that time to move in a new direction. So what is the new direction that we know we're feeling that we're about to embark on, but we're not sure? Okay, let's see. What does the masculine energies want us to know about the journey we're about to embark on? What is the energy want us to know? Okay. So, the masculine energies want us to know that the journey we're about to embark on. Whoo! Okay. Okay, man. We're going in the water. We're going in the water. We're becoming that night. We had the night before, but now we're having a night of water. We're now tapping in the emotion. The masculine energies want us to know that the journey that we're about to embark on requires us to be that night for ourselves, to show that our emotions is tied into our romantic nation. Our romantic nation. We're going to be making nations, I see. From us showing, because a knight is a physical person to protect, to show, right? We're going to be showing our romantic nature through our emotions. Wow. Wow. That means we're going to be very in tune with how we know where our emotions come from. Meaning, when you want to tell somebody that you're feeling them, you're not going to just tell them, oh, I like you a lot. I think you're a really cool person. You're going to bring out that night and say, you know why I think you're a cool person? It's because you bring out the light in people. Meaning, how I see you is you have a really great, powerful energy. The way you speak to people makes them want to be their best selves. You even make me want to be my best self. I don't think I ever told a person that before. I might have showed it, but right now I want to emotionally tell you or show through my words. Not even if you want to say your emotions, like say through your words how people affect you, how people affect us in a romantic way. We're going to be very enthusiastic to our approach on the way we contemplate. So, if we're wondering, like, what is an example of showing our enthusiasm when it comes to our our way of feeling. Like, again, emotions is very powerful. How do we show that and know that when we break those things down, it will give people an open opportunity to see that we had thought about these things. That is not just we're just talking. And one way we would do that is by revealing who we are personally and why we make that statement. Meaning, if I see a person that has really high energy, I would have to admit to them that at some point in my life I have low energy. I I'm very empathic, like a lot of you guys, and like anything, like energy, it moves, and if you're not monitoring it, it can move away, feel like a tidal wave. And when meeting this person, that person makes me feel centered. That's a powerful gift. So I would admit to that person, like, the reason why I see you as cool is because you're an anchor in my eyes. Like, you can get my emotions to calm down and to get me to see the beauty in my emotions. When at times I would think that my emotions was imbalanced, where now I see it as balanced. I see it as a room to grow in. Now we're going to start speaking. We're going to be that knight. We're going to be that knight of love. So, what is that knight of love to you? The masculine energies want us to know. When we do that, we're going to start to fall in love again. We're going to start to fall in love with who we are as an individual. Like, wow, is this how I talk? This is how I commit. This is how I express my love to a person. I didn't know I am deep like the waters. I didn't know I can go in and find those words and find the words that match exactly the emotions I feel for this individual. Wedding proposals are going to come into play. Again, this was why the game was so important, to understand before we get married, before we get that partner, before we move in that direction, how do we want to be for ourselves? And the masculine energies want us to know that the need for balance, that a balance of emotions, we're going to start practicing. And that can be like a roller coaster ride, up and down, up and down. Emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. Loving you is never good for me. But I can't get off. You know what that unhealthy is? When we didn't see that our emotional roller coaster is romantic. Our emotional roller coaster makes us human beings. Now we're going to take this time to balance that out, so we don't see our emotions as unhealthy. We see it as healthy, holistic, and divine in its own right. An invitation to a social event. What better way to practice if we're emotionally balanced by having to go on to a social event, right? And as we go through that social event, whether it be outside, whether it be really an event that we're physically going to, or an event that we even create for ourselves, we're going to tap in. The masculine energies want us to know that we're going to be tapping into our queen of air. We're going to see that we are independent and we have the experience. Just like the renewal card, we have the experience, our life experience. Your life from the time you were young to now has given you the experience to see emotions, to see your emotional cup, to see your mental cup as balanced. And when we find that way to balance it out, we're going to be more realistic and witty in our approach. We're going to see that objective decision making is not always cold. It has emotions in it. It has our intuition in it. In order for us to be realistic and to show that objective decision making in ourselves, because we're stepping into our power. masculine, feminine energies. We're stepping into our power right now. And when we're stepping into our power, we're going to be even more real with ourselves. This is why we have the 4 and the 6 of water to help us to balance out our emotions. Even when we address our emotions, we're going to be even witty about it. Like, even when we try to be angry, we're going to be witty. Like, really clearing away all that no longer serves you. Step by step, we're going to start clearing away things that no longer serve us. So whether it be like, is it clothes that you don't fit no more, you're gonna be throwing that out, giving it to charity. If it's furniture and your apartment or where you live, how you want to redecorate, you're gonna be having that energy, that air of energy, that queen of energy, that queen of air, to know that, oh, I'm making these moves to make the feng shui, to make the energy that I feel inwardly reflect my outside world. You're starting to see the humor in the situation. Like, you know what? I used to think my mom or moms and dads, like when they tell you to clean your room, clean your house, it shows who you are. I used to think like, you know what? You're just saying that so I could clean my apartment or to clean my room. And now that I have my own apartment, I'm like, wait a minute. It does reflect who you think you are. Like, if I don't clean, I would start to think for a minute, like, do I think I'm nasty? Do I think I'm not organized? Do I think I'm not important? Wait a minute, I am important. Then I start cleaning and then I laugh like, you know what? Now I see why elders or parents that cared or people that care, just people that care about you. Oh, you should take care of yourself more. You should look after yourself more. Now we start to see like they weren't trying to get on our nerves. They weren't even trying to get us to do what they want us to do. Maybe that's true. Maybe they did do that for us to do what we needed to do, even if we didn't want to do it. But you know what? Now we're starting to see, thank God, with witty humor, like, thank God we had people that really love us to tell us, oh, you need to take care of yourself. Oh, I see that you're not doing that. Well, why are you not doing this anymore? They're telling us things that they know we love about ourselves. When they see us not doing that for ourselves, that's when we hear it. So now we're becoming our own parent. Like, wait a minute. You feel good about yourself. Why are you not dressing like that? Or you want to speak in this manner. Why are you not speaking in that manner? What you think is too proper or is too ghetto? Or what do you think? Be you. What does that mean? And the masculine energies is saying, as we are learning how to be us, we're seeing that our ego in the 6th house. Aries, we have Aries, which is our identity, who we know we are. No one has to tell us who we are. Number 1, the 1st house is our identity. No one had to tell us who we are in that house. Meaning, for example, I like to sing. No one had to tell me that. I knew that since young. When I was bored, I used to rock myself and sing. I still do it now. If I'm bored, I will go out and sing. When I'm emotional, I go out and sing. Or if I'm not singing, I'm writing. Now we're starting to get, our masculine energies are saying, now you're seeing your ego as an energy that can guide you to an open opportunity. So when we felt that missed opportunity was forever missed, we're seeing no. Opportunities happen the moment we see the opportunity. So that false sense of entrapment is going to go away. How will it go away is by realizing that it is through our egos, it's through our emotions that lead us to abundance, that lead us to new friends, that lead us to new careers, that lead us to new discovery of who we are. If we don't go through things, if we don't find that eagerness to go through things, eagerness to go through things other is ourselves, then how would we know if the ego is bad or not? I can't say my ego is bad. Someone else can say it because they're watching me, But then I would have to reveal who I am for them to say, oh wait, that's actually not bad. That's really just you. Oh, I thought that was your ego. No, that's just me. Now we're seeing that our ego and who we are one and the same. So being overly focused on material things, we're not going to be really thinking about anymore. Yes, we know material is coming to us. Yeah, if material was not coming to us, then would we have cell phones? Would we have sneakers on? Would we have clothes on? Would we have deodorant and things that to make us, walk out in this community, well groomed in our way? If we really didn't have material, so we obviously know we have material. We know we're looking to obtain more. Okay. In order for us to obtain more, we're going to start to see what stops us. And what stops us is negative or fear-based thoughts. So again, how we become renewed from our feminine energies, seeing the journey we're about to take, the masculine energies to help us here to say, all right, we're about to renew ourselves, right? Well, we're going to have to look at what we see as negative or fear-based thoughts in ourselves and bring them out. And use that night of love, that night within us, to be more, to when we are emotional, to show that and to remind ourselves that our emotional cup is good enough. It is great to be open and to be seen. No longer should we be tucking it away. Because if our ego was not good, we would not have gold in our pockets. We would not have gold falling out of our chains, meaning we're going to have abundance. We even have abundance now. Is how we're going to be looking at these things. And we have our angel and spirit guides on our side. So, what does our feminine energies want us to know? Going into this journey of self-love, self-discovery. Because we have been last week, but that now we're starting to become more focused or more detailed in how we're, and what is our true intent. What is our true intent? So our feminine energies want us to know. From 6, again, House of Virgo, we're going to be very balanced in our emotions. It's going to be hard. Nothing in this world is easy. It wasn't easy for Adam and Eve when they left the Garden of Eden. It's not going to be easy for us when we're starting to relook and we see ourselves. We're looking at those 6 aspects of who we are that we love, but yet we're afraid of. And those are the 6 things I had to write out within myself. When we write the 6 things that because we had 7, so that last one was our spirit. The 6 things, what are the 6 things that you value about yourself, that you love about yourself? The feminine energies want us to gather that. Those are going to be our tools, our compass, our beacon. Things are going to start looking up when we do that. The end of a difficult situation, we're going to have that energy to want to take a trip. Because for this week coming up, we're going to be tapping into who we are, what we feel we know we are, and how we're going to use that knowledge in the outside world. Our feminine energies want us to see that when we use those 6 tools, those 6 things that, yes, we love about ourselves, but we fear, we're going to become more grounded. We're going to go into the 9th house of Sagittarius. We're going to have that fire and that energy. See how long it took for both the masculine and the feminine inside of ourselves and outside of ourselves to get to this energy. So we knew that we had to, before we go out, to physically make those foundations known. We are tapping into our emotions, into our intuition, and we're communicating it. We're communicating it to ourselves, writing it down, recording it, writing our journals, communicating it to others, communicating it to ourselves. And when we set those 3 the Trinity in ourselves, once we made it solid, now we are able to go out, physically go out and say, okay, this is who I am. This is what I like about myself. This is what I love about myself. This is, yes, I fear these things, but these things I would not take away. I would not want it to be taken away from me. And I'm going to stick to my guns on that. I'm going to stick to my wands on that, which is our wands is our passion, our drive. Those 6 things that we love about ourselves, but we're afraid to express them, when we see and when we write them down. Yes, Curry, yes. We're talking directly to our hearts on many levels. And as we're talking to our hearts on many levels, we're not going to give up. We're going to protect that which we have created. Like a baby, even if you have not had a physical baby. You know, when you start a project that you love, or a drawing that you love, or something that you created that you know is you. Like when you show it to somebody, they're like, yeah, that person did that. That's how we're going to feel with the 6 tools in us. Like when we go out there, that's going to be our representation of our baby, of our creativity, of who we are. Our receipts, we're going to reenact in the real world. Wow, we're going to be our own real world. And when we show that, we're going to show more courage. We're going to have courage in that journey. And we're going to believe in ourselves and others. Yes, painting is a beautiful way to show that. It's a beautiful way to show who we are and what we really want to express through our emotions and through our intuitions. That's why when we go to art galleries and a person says, what do you see? You can see something totally different than another person has seen. Does not mean what you see or what that person has seen is wrong. In fact, it adds on to the painting. So imagine you were answering that question and the artist was right behind you and you didn't even know it. Now you are telling that person what you physically feel and see in their painting. And when somebody else adds on to that, it's showing them like, little did we know while seeing this painting, like, wow, that's what I was feeling when I was painting that. That's what I was going through in my life. That's what I was feeling. Wow, they actually see that through my painting? I only thought they would only see one aspect of that. I didn't know they would really see that. And that's who we're going to be. We're going to be that living art. We're going to be that muse for ourselves. So think about it for a minute. What is your muse? What is the 6 things in you that you love that is going to be your muse this week coming up? Let's think about that. Because that right there is very important. That's going back to our ancient Greece and Roman time. When we had, before we had theater, before we had the Colosseums, us as human beings in that time period had to know who we are as a collective, yes, but as an individual. And that is a real important matter, because when you start to express who you are, when we start to express who we are as that living muse, as that living portrait, we're going to exude in other people how to bring out their fire, how to bring out their passion. Because again, when we bring that out, people are going to come to us and ask, what did you do? And what are you doing right now? And we're going to have those 9 receipts to explain what passion, what equal and emotional balance and mental balance, why we're doing what we're doing, and why we cannot stop. The feminine energies want us to know that at the end of, as we're embarking on that journey, as we're showing our passions outwardly to ourselves and our others, we're going to come across a roadblock. That roadblock that we think we have is the 5 of earth. So we are still having that fire, but now it's becoming earthbound. We becoming that art, that walking art, right? And in order for us to be a walking art on Gaia, on Mother Earth, we are showing that 5 traits. We went from 6 to 5. So now we seen that, okay, out of the 6, it's 5 that I really resonate with right now, that I'm going to be revealing. And when I reveal that, I'm going to have concernment of my finance, because like anything, when we're creative, and when we see in history, they say it takes an artist 10 plus years, or it took a person years to get to where they're at. You forget? Did we forget that we have been practicing our craft for many years? It's just that now we're doing more outwardly to show that craft that we have had, or that we have been using for many years. So before we get to that realization, fear surrounding money is going to come up. It's coming up for me. I'm creative. I'm an artist. I sing, I dance, I write. I do children's books. I teach children. I teach adults. And now I want to show that I would like to use the performing arts to build people's character and to make that as a career. So before I go out there physically, I am afraid of finances, because that means I'm taking less hours of my regular job and teaching in public and charter schools, and using some of that time to go out into the world to show my creative side. And that can create fear. So remember that those fears, those negative or fear-based thoughts, we're going to be addressing. And when we address that, right, we're realizing that we do have to make a certain sacrifice. We're going to realize that we are going to have to outwardly admit to ourselves, if I really want this, what is the level in which I'm going to have to go to see not just the financial results, but to actually see that I'm outwardly doing what I love. And yes, I'm feared, but I'm becoming fearless in my approach. When we become fearless in our approach, that fearlessness is going to show us that, do these coins, which is the 5 of Earth, it's the 5 of Pentacles, do these coins look gray? Do they look like they don't got no light in them? You got 5 in the front, 2 in the front, 3 up the top, right? Like a lighthouse. So we're going to become people's lighthouse in finding their way to bring out who they are, right? And when we are that pillar, when we are that beacon for others, including ourselves, is this light dim, or do you see the light in each coin? Each coin is our value of who we are. Each coin is the things that we truly love about ourselves, yet the thing we truly fear. If we fear them, we're starting to become fearless. And those fearless is igniting the fire in each coin. This is why we had the 9 of fire, to give each coin twice as much energy. Twice as much energy. So if somebody was lost in the forest, right? You know how when we go somewhere and we get lost, right? We are thankful that they have light poles or places that have lights, right? Because that will give us a trail to find our way home, or to find our way. If someone was lost, like we are, and that we're getting out of that lost and finding ourselves, now we're seeing that we are that light for others, including ourselves. If we was not that light, would people get lost, including ourselves? Yes. So we're seeing that we are the light, we are that beacon first, before we are that beacon for others. And if I'm not mistaken, this is in the middle of a forest. I don't see anything barren. I see a golden bird. Like, it's so fly. We're so fly as an individual. What we're about to show ourselves and others, we're so fly. We got that swag that we even got mystical, magical beings want to be around when we show the grand finale. Look at that. Look at that. This beautiful and bountiful. Got the purple and blue. Like, I seen blue water, but I ain't see purple. Purple is a healing color. So we're not only healing our emotions and others and ourselves, but we're also that healer for others as well. And the wisdom that to accept help from others, again, when we go out there, people are going to come to us and talk to us. And as we communicate to others, we're going to see that their fire and their will is going to help us in continuing on to that journey. So those uncertain self-employment, which I feel I'm going through that myself. Like, will I be? Will my passion in making of visual and performing arts a profession, and in making it into schools and after school? I'm taking parts of my time out from work, meaning I used to work 5 days out of the week. Now I'm working 1 or 2 days out of the week to do that and to do the spiritual readings, because I feel that spiritual readings or tarot cards should be a part of the curriculum in school. A lot of the holistic arts, because again, the arts is everything. And if I see it as everything, then everything should be in the school. In order for that to happen, I have to go out to the world like I have and to continue that. And that's what we're about to do. You're about to continue on the path from which you have taken. We're about to finish what we have started. And it is to let us know that uncertain self-employment will become certain. It will become certain the moment we know what is those 5 things, 6 things, honestly. What is the 6 things that you love about yourself, that you would not want taken from you, that you will want to show the outside world? I'm going to reveal mine again. And I'm going to pull the last card for this reading. My 6 are caring, seeing each other as equal, seeing myself as an equal to another, caring for myself and my daughter more, showing my stable side, my emotional, physical, mental, showing who I am spiritually to myself and others, my spiritual gift, being more creative, showing the creative side, which is connected to my dream of making the creative arts or the performing arts as an after school, a curriculum, and a way of life, and having holistic arts as a career and in schools. I'm showing that more. Seeing who do I see as a partner? What is my partner going to be in myself and others? I'm going to feel and know I can communicate and to open up more. That's what I want in a partner. So that's what I'm going to show in myself this week. I'm going to show myself that I want to make a legacy, not just for my family, but for communities. I want each community to have an outlet where they can shine, where they can make their arts a profession, a career, a job, even for others. To have it in schools where they can teach and to know that, do you need to have a bachelor's degree in this to teach it? No. Do you have life experience? Yes. Do you have certificates? Yes. Do you have licenses? Yes. We can find any outlet then. And that is what I'm going to be showing, that to see myself as an equal, to show that I'm caring to myself, to show how I want to show my stable side to myself, to show what I want to reveal to myself and others, what is my spiritual gift and abilities. I only showed it to one directly, which is my friend, my sister for like 10 plus years. I call her Nephis. Her name is Nakia. You see why I call her Nephis, because of the letter N, right? Yeah, she has revealed to me a lot about myself. And to show that I like to build with people. I love building with people, because when I build with people, I'm also showing them their tools, and they're revealing to me their tools and why they like building. So these are the 6 things I'm going to bring out. And out of the 6, I'm going to realize through those actions, what are the 5 that truly needs to be recognized for others, including myself, to recognize that we hold the key. That's why the name Kiki not just comes from my name, Kiana, but I see people not just as a star, but I see them as the key. You are the key. You hold the keys to each doorway towards your success. You hold the keys to even every dimension, to even your ancestors, to unlock their knowledge to make your current world a fruitful foundation. So the last card that I'm going to make is a past life card. I haven't done that in the games because I wanted to see, and I wanted us to see how we have practiced visually and physically the masculine and feminine energies in ourselves and seen it in others. So, on this journey, what will we recognize in ourselves to get us to move forward? What will we recognize in ourselves? Two want to come out, and then two was on the side. So those are the two mysteries. Wow. So two, masculine, feminine. So we still in line with ourselves. That's wonderful. So the two that to be seen, to recognize in ourselves that we have the Father in us. We have Source in us. Whether you call that Source God, whether you call that Source Gaia, whether you call that Source Kalima, whether you call that Source Shiva, Guan Yin, Shanti, Krishna, Buddha, Guadalupe, Isis, whatever you feel is source to you, you have it in you. That innocence is always here for us. The innocence in us is here to help us on this journey, to let us know it's okay. It is okay to reach out to our source, to connect to our source, whether it be walking outside, looking outside, meditating, having that quiet space. Whatever you feel is a way that you want to connect to source, do that. We're going to be leaving who we felt we were and traveling to who we're about to become. And we are the night. We are the protectors of ourselves. We are the protectors of our loved ones. We are the protectors of love. We are the knights of love. And we're going to show that outside of ourselves and inside of ourselves. And we're rooted in the trees. The trees is as ancient as human beings, even longer than human beings. And we connect to, whether it be going towards trees, connecting towards trees. I'm starting to walk outside and be near trees, and it's helping me a little bit, especially when I sit underneath one and just let my emotions go for a second. I'm going to start doing that a little bit more. Tying in the relic of who we are, using our energy and our empathic notion of who we are to spiritually guide us. We are the tree. We are the tree. And like every tree has roots. And those 5 and 6 roots, those 6 roots that we truly value is going to make us turn into this. So if we're wondering if the journey that we're about to embark on, would it make us less than who we are, or frail, or wither and die? No. We're going to turn out like this tree. Steadfast, strong, fearless, and nurturing for others to be protected. Thank you, Kiki's Doorway subscribers, viewers. Thank you for being patient with me. If you like what you have heard and seen, please like, share with others, and subscribe. Like I was mentioning earlier, yes, thank you, Miss Curry. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you. Your energy, your love, your blessings are really getting me through this. Because we're going through some physical, mental, and emotional changes, and it is leading us to our best selves. And we could physically see this in this portrait. Uh, Press the subscribe button, but mainly the notification button. The reason why I say press the notification button, the bell, is because this month of October is going to be very different for us, right? Our energies are adapting and changing. And I'm a fixed sign, I'm a Taurus, but I'm learning through your energy and through my own energy that I cannot be fixed all the time. I can't always have a schedule. I can't always say this and do this. I have to go with what emotions are telling me. So when you press the notification button, the moment I record, the moment I tape something, you will get it. This will let you know the journey that I'm taking on with you guys. You're not alone. The reason why I haven't been recording for the past couple of days is what I was explaining earlier, is because of the physical changes and everything. But now I want to let you guys know, like, I want you guys to take the journey with me, and I want to take the journey with you guys. So once you press the bell, the notification button, it will let you know when I'm on air, when I'm recording, when I'm doing the readings, when I'm doing the games. It will let you know everything. I've heard from my friends recently that the reason why when you press the subscribe button, why you won't get any latest readings is because of the interactions. Like, if I'm not currently doing any readings, you won't see it. So this is why now I'm going to just do sporadic readings. I'm going to be taking you wherever I go with the cards and to see how it goes. So press the notification button if you want to see where Kiki's Doorway is about to travel with you guys, and the energy that you're bringing to my life and my energy towards your life. If you would like a personal reading or would like to ask a question, please contact me at Kiki's Doorway, KEYKEYS DOORWAY That way you could contact me that way in regards to a personal reading, a one question reading, or if you would like to get your namesake song or story. I will be continuing that as well. Again, once you press the bell button, you will know when I'm on air, when I'm actually doing a meditation, songs, and mantras as well. It's going to be a lot of new things, I feel, and I would like to share that with you, and I would like to share that with you as we go through the doorway. Until we meet again, I love you. I love you guys. Thank you for allowing me to be honest and to be real with you guys. Thank you for taking the time out, the 387 Kiki's Doorway subscribers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being there with me since May. Thank you for taking the journey with me. Thank you for allowing me to take the journey with you. Thank you for allowing me to continue to take the journey with you. Viewers, thank you for watching the channel. Thank you for taking the time out. It's so many beautiful readers out there. It's so many beautiful interpretations of our lives that I'm honored that you took the time to go into the doorway, to Kiki's Doorway, to the Akashic Records with me, and to see our past lives and even our present as a present for us in the now. I love you. I love you. We will see you on the other side. Have a good day, guys.